I don't HR manager, they know they are bullying others, why protect them? I don't get it, how do managers sleep at night? HR don't protect managers. It's not HR's job to manage business people. HR only have the responsibility to manage people within their department. Quite frankly, if we try to manage people outside of our department, we get told where to go. We already have a hard enough time arguing with senior management about things that they shouldn't be doing. 9 times out of 10, if we know that a manager is bad, we're already telling the business that they need to do something. You can't just dismiss people for no reason. HR don't have the resource to manage investigations. Time ago, most businesses changed how they structured their HR team. They managed responsibility of managing people to the business instead of HR. And that's when HR business partners came in. That meant a removal of a lot of HR roles. That also shifted the responsibility. That also meant that the business made a decision that they don't want HR getting involved in those things. They only want HR to support on those things. So whilst we can tell the business that this is a risk, that potentially an employment tribunal could claim because someone's behaviour is completely unacceptable, it's for the business to decide whether they're willing to carry that risk or not. Ultimately, the cost of an employment tribunal isn't coming out of HR's budget, and the reputational damage of going to a tribunal also isn't a HR problem. You make it harder to hire people, but it's fundamentally not something that HR can control. You have to understand that it's not the responsibility of HR to get rid of people. It is the business responsibility. It sits with the manager's manager, the manager's manager's manager. It does not sit with HR. Short of the HR raising this as a problem to senior leadership, there is nothing that HR can do. Generally here I'm talking about large corporations. In small and medium-sized businesses, it may be completely different, but it's likely that in those businesses, they don't even have a HR department. And quite frankly, we also get a number of vexatious claims against people. And just because we hear things doesn't mean it's true. So you need to stop blaming HR for this being a problem, and you need to start blaming the business. HR are the facilitators, they are not in charge of getting this done. Likelihood is if a HR person went to the business and said, I'm going to dismiss this person because I know that they're bullying, and bearing in mind they've had no time to do an investigation, so it would actually be an unfair dismissal, that HR person is then going to get dismissed. Bullying also isn't just a reason for dismissal. You have to go through an entire dismissal process. And you also need to bear in mind that you are not hearing the conversations that happen behind closed doors, so you don't know that HR are protecting these people. They may actually be really fighting for them to leave the business. Ultimately, it's not HR that gets to decide whether someone is departed from the business or not.